Hey there guys, Mikey here, and welcome back to Star Week, a Comic Junkies Corner presentation that is all about
Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars.
You thought I didn't know where that originally came from, didn't you? So as you can tell, today's video is going to be about Star Wars Resistance. Oh, but wait, Star Wars Resistance hasn't finished airing yet. I know, I've seen enough. Peaceful thoughts. So Star Wars Resistance is supposed to take place before Episode 7. Now, upon hearing that, I did get pretty hopeful. I was thinking maybe we'll get some necessary world building, just try to cover up some of the holes that were left in Episode 7 and Episode 8. I mean, it can't really improve the quality of those films, but maybe it can make the viewing experience a little bit better. And hopefully make some things make sense. So does Resistance do just that? Nope. Doesn't even try. This is taking place right before Episode 7. Like, the First Order and Resistance already exist. And it's fine, it's fine. A little story within a story, a little side quest, a little spin-off or what have you. Those can be pretty good. They've been pretty good. One of them has been pretty good, but it can work, man. It can work. What I'm trying to say. It can work. So who knows, maybe we can get through this review pretty quick. So the series starts off with a single TIE fighter giving chase to 3 Republic X-Wings. Okay, stop. A single TIE fighter. Yeah, I know. It's a red TIE, which means that's one of the elite. It's still BS. It's 3 on 1 in open space. At the very least, at least one of them should be able to shoot him down just on pure luck. What are you doing? Okay, so look, there's a few things I took in right off the bat. The first is that Oscar Isaac is the voice of Poe. I think it's really cool. I mean, he's a bit toned down from his on-screen presence, but he's still very much the character. We even have Gwen Christie reprising her role as Captain Phasma. Again, another nice touch. Using the same people has always promoted consistency, and consistency helps promote the immersion in the world that you've built. So, yeah, good job, Disney. Now, the second thing was the animation. It uses this blend of 2D and 3D. I'm no expert, but we've seen it before in video games and other shows. The animation style looks good for people and moving objects, but not so good for the environment. The characters stand out so much from their environment that it kind of makes their surroundings look kind of dead and stale, almost like the characters are on a green screen. Because of that, the action can be less intense and engaging because, well, you don't feel that the environment's really there all the time. Yeah, I know, some of you fans are way familiar with that, but this is animation. We shouldn't have that problem. So, credit for trying something new, but it definitely needs a polishing. Whew, okay. Now, unfortunately, I have to move on to the worst parts of this show. Now, fair warning, these are personally infuriating to me, so if I start hurling obscenities, you've been warned, so strap in. First, the show is called Resistance. So who barely shows up? The Resistance. The show actually follows a Republic pilot, Kaz, who agrees to be a spy for the Resistance to find out who is working for the First Order. Now, this sounds great in premise, except for one big problem. Kaz is inept at life. He is a bumbling buffoon that is somehow entrusted by Poe frickin' Dameron to be a spy for the Resistance. Are we sure that Poe is not a mole for the First Order? Are we sure about that? Kaz should have been killed several times, but instead, of course, he lives, and he's supposed to be endearing to us because we are somehow supposed to take his idiocy as comedy. Yeah, it's been 13 years since the prequels, and we still haven't learned that stupidity in Star Wars is not funny.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay?
Second, we have another entry into the Jar Jar Binks catalog. Meet Niku. Now, Niku is the only character more frustrating than Kaz. Niku's quirk is that he doesn't understand metaphors and turns of phrases, etc., etc. Similar to Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy. But the reason it worked for Drax is because he was so serious all the time, making his delivery of nonsensical lines even funnier. Only for them to completely change the character for Guardians 2 to a loud, obnoxious buffoon. Niku is basically the combination of Drax from Guardians 1 and Guardians 2 dialed to 11. He is so stupid that upon hearing Kaz just casually say, I wonder what the First Order are doing here. Niku walks up to the First Order, blowing their cover, and says, hey, my friend is really shy, but he's wondering what you, the First Order, are doing here.
You okay, Vegeta?
Yes, just an aneurysm out of sheer stupidity.
Third, there is a lot of filler in this show. After the first 15 minutes of the first episode, the show completely loses its focus. It focuses more on racing and learning life lessons than Kaz actually being a spy and gaining some important information. Thankfully, the show recognizes this by episode 9 and begins to kick the plot into actual momentum. Basically, if you want to watch this series, just watch the first episode and just skip straight to episode 9. Anything you missed, you can easily put together and you will skip 2.5 hours of nonsensical filler. 4, and possibly the most infuriating thing, the backstory surrounding the rise of the First Order. So the Republic believe the Resistance is just fighting the mere ghosts of the Empire. They believe the First Order is no real threat, and that the Resistance are just extremists who can't let go of the fact that the Empire has fallen. Now that actually sounds like a good premise. If this were 5 years after episode 6, not 32 freaking years later. People are refusing to believe that the First Order even exists. Now this is contrary to what's revealed in later episodes, but this is also despite them having built a planet-sized weapon of mass destruction, having their pilots attacked by the First Order, and intel that the First Order is planning to attack the Republic. Are you telling me that the reason the First Order was able to rise and overthrow the Republic is because the Republic was too damn stupid to acknowledge the facts that were right in front of them? That's it. That's it. I'm joining the First Order. Where do I sign up? Now I know what you might be thinking. You might be thinking, yeah, this works fine on its own, but the problem is it's not working fine on its own because it's a sequel. The only way this thread works is if you eliminate everything that came before it. Otherwise, the heroes from the previous films who fought for all of this peace look completely incompetent. Disney, what are you doing, Disney? What are you doing? Star Wars Resistance is a kid's show. It's a bad kid's show, but a kid's show nonetheless. The animation needs work, but it's not terrible. The story is super unfocused for long stretches of time, but when it does get going, it does spark at least a mild interest. The humor is definitely akin to that of the prequel, so if you enjoy Jar Jar, this is right up your alley. The main characters are slave to this being a kid's cartoon, meaning they're only allowed to develop and grow so much outside of their wackiness and plain ineptitude. Which is sad because you don't have to pander to kids. I mean, this has been proven in Clone Wars, so why are we taking a step back? Why not continue to push that envelope? Why not continue to reach and if not exceed the bar that you yourselves have set? We may never know the answer to the question, and it's very possible that the show will improve and reach the level of Clone Wars, but right now, I'm done with it. So that's my review of Star Wars Resistance. Please feel free to share your review of Star Wars Resistance down in the comments below. Is there anything I missed or anything I got wrong? Please post that down there too. I would love to freaking be wrong about this show. But also, I make mistakes too, so, help me learn.
Do it.
Thank you guys for tuning into... Thank you guys for tuning into... What is the show? Thank you guys for tuning into Star Week as presented by the Comic Junkies Corner or McBlam Entertainment, bringing a little bit of enjoyment to your day every day. And if you want to be a part of the enjoyment, be sure to subscribe so we can see you in the next video.